All right, folks, we are back. You are live with the dynamic duo, Dusty and Lonzo, on a Tuesday afternoon, y'all. It's Taco Tuesday. I ain't eating no tacos, but I'm dropping game like a son of a gun, folks. And this is how we do it here. This is how it's done. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, and my man on the screen, sharing the screen with me right now, none other than the Dusty One, Dusty Vision. What up, Doc?
Yeah, what up, Lons?
Man, doing what I'm doing, just sitting here enjoying the day.
Man.
It is. I got to fix this right quick. Had a little ringing in my ear, but I'm good. I'm good. All right, go ahead.
Cool. Yeah, man. Shout out. I know you got something big coming up on November 22nd. I just saw that post earlier. Tell everybody what's coming up.
November 22nd, folks, is the day for the EAZY Street celebration. It's going down behind the hotel by the gym in Compton off of EAZY Street. It's going down at 12 o'clock. It's going to be a midday event the day before Thanksgiving. So people got something to talk about. If you can't be there live, we will be live streaming it on our Compton Entertainment channel. So just tune in, download the app. If you haven't downloaded the app, please do so. It's free. If you want a notification, download the app right next to it, the Compton Entertainment Chamber app, and I'll send out a push notification when we're about to go live. So folks, yes, it's going down. We're making it happen in a big way.
Yes. Finally here, man. Long time coming, but you made it happen. Shout out to the chat room. Peace to everyone. Make sure you hit that like button if you're just stepping into the building. Let's get it going, man. Let's start off with That's That BS, Lonzo. I like it. I think maybe we should do a segment called That's That Bullshit.
Come on with it.
I love when you go on those rants, man. But here we go. Last week we talked about old girl who wouldn't get out of the car because her date took her to Cheesecake Factory. I'm sure you remember that.
Yeah.
Well, a female recently posted a list that has gone viral. And this is a list of places women absolutely refuse to go on a first date. There's 30 of them. So if you guys give me 30 seconds, I can run through them real quick. But here is a list of places women refuse, apparently according to this chick, to go. Number 1, Cheesecake Factory, Applebee's, Chili's, Chipotle, Olive Garden, the movies, your house, any fast food chain, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet, IHOP, Denny's, the gym, church, Starbucks, coffee dates, ice cream dates, family functions, movie night, somewhere that requires a long drive, bowling, nightclub, hookah bar, a bar just for drinks, Waffle House, sports events, mom and pop restaurants, and lastly, number 30, food trucks. Where the hell are we supposed to take these women, Lonzo?
Stay your ass at home then. Stay your ass at home. That's that bullshit for real. See, you know what, man? Folks that got overrated dating, and they think somebody done told some women, not all, that the vagina was only given to them and that you have to pay for it in order to even be able to be around it. And that's ridiculous, dude. This internet situation, this is some Instagram bullshit. I've seen women say this. I saw this list already, and I read it, and I'm like, you know what? Y'all full of shit, okay? You have not qualified to go anywhere. The fact that a brother is willing to take you any one of them places and pick up the tab, it should be sufficient until he figured out what kind of woman he dealing with. I ain't got to give you no Ruth Chris dinner because we dating, because we're going on a first date. Are you out of your mind? And if you can't do it for yourself, why I gotta do it for you? Can you take yourself to one of them high-end places like Ruth Chris, where everything is high as hell? Ain't playing. You been there before? You been to Ruth Chris? It ain't nothing funny. Okay?
Oh yeah, that and Morton Steakhouse.
If you ain't got 200 for you and your girl and with no alcohol, don't go. If you ain't got 200 for you and your girl, don't go. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I can do the same thing at Cheesecake Factory. But again, somebody has told some of these women at all that the more money a man spends on you, the more he likes you. That's bullshit. I would just assume go bowling and hang out. I mean, again, man, it all depends on the kind of guy. You trying to super floss? Okay, fine, I understand that. But if you just a regular dude, and no matter how popular I am, I'm a regular dude, man. I just assume go bowling, to the movies, go someplace else. It's all about the company, man. It ain't got nothing to do with where you go. If you go to the park and just chill and just kick it, sit there and watch movies on your phone, that's cool if you like the person. But if you out there, you trying to get some pictures for the gram, I ain't the one for you no way. So go ahead about your business, baby. Enjoy yourself. You high maintenance. I can't afford you. You may do it one time, and then next time we got you unexpected. No. It's like anything else. You got to earn some of this stuff. You just can't get it because you came with standard equipment of a vagina. That ain't gonna fly. I'm sorry. Okay. I can't.
Yep, that's definitely that BS.
I can see that going to
And
McDonald's. I can see that going to Jack in the Box. But if y'all running and hey, let's go get a couple tacos. We're in a hurry. We're just hungry. I'm not saying sit there and gaze in each other's eyes over a chocolate shake, but what do I owe you for your time? Am I paying you for your time? So bottom line is you telling me pretty much a prostitute, babe. And ain't nothing guaranteed gonna happen after this. I'm just gonna be out $200 for your time. Get out of here. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. To watch you take pictures of your food. Give me here's the cold part. Fellas, don't buy that bullshit. Because y'all know it's a bunch of meal hustlers out there. It's a bunch of female hustlers out there that's hustling their meals, Doc. They're gonna order the most expensive drink on the menu. They're gonna order the most expensive food on the menu and take it home with them. Okay. And they ain't got no intention on doing nothing with you but spending your money. Don't fall for that, fellas. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. Unless she's your girl and you trying to, do something for your girl, a birthday or just something special. Don't fall for that list that they gave you. Take her ass someplace and don't cost you. Because no matter where you go, you're gonna spend 60. I don't care if you go to Chipotle, you're gonna spend 40 to 50. Ain't no more cheap dates. Ain't no more cheap dates. Only way you're gonna get a cheap date, you got to go to Del Taco and get the Del Taco $2 meal. Okay. Other than that, ain't no cheap dates. You can't go to Mickey D's without spending $25, $30. Okay, 2 Big Mac specials is $25. That's me how I know. That's that bullshit. Don't fall for it, fellas. Don't fall for it. Just because they give you the illusion that you might get laid, that means that you got to spend $200 on some food. And God knows what else, because if you spend $200 for food, you got to pay for parking. That's another $25, $30, depending on where you go. You ain't put no gas in your car. You ain't did nothing for you yet. That debt gonna cost you $500 all day long, man. No, dude, don't do that. Don't fall for that bullshit. Don't fall for that. Me and our older sister got into a debate.
Nope.
Me and one of my friends got into a debate one time, and we were, we just friends, just talking. And she told me her philosophy with her daughters was, if all you get out of an F is a wet ass, you ain't done that. And I'm like, what are you supposed to get? If I make you feel good and you make me feel good, why I got to pay for it? I never understood that. I understand that philosophy may seem old to some people. And again, I have no problem with looking out for my girl. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. But it's just sometimes the imbalance of what brothers have to go through to try and be cool don't make no sense, man. It don't make no sense. And we're supposed to be equal. Come on. Help me. Seems like sometimes they want it both ways, always, all the time. It can't happen like that. That ain't how the game go. But some of y'all gonna fall for it because some folks, you can't help it.
Yeah.
If your girl is a team player,
yeah. Marlon says they will order food and then take it home to their kids.
Yes. Or the shit they're not gonna eat tonight at all. They trying to get lunch tomorrow. Are you out of your mind? How you gonna get two lobster tails? Okay, no. That's a hustle, man. That's a hustle, dude. That's a real hustle. I know women who have done that. They have no intention on going out with this brother. Don't like him at all. he expressed a little interest in her, and she gonna juice him for his credit card to go take his shopping. I mean, take her to get an expensive ass meal, kiss him on the cheek, and go back in the house and call the other dude. Oh, miss me with that bullshit. Don't even go for it, bro. Please, fellas, don't go for that bullshit. That's some grown ass man game for real right there. Do not fall for that bullshit. Go ahead, Doc. I'm sorry. I think got me fired up.
Yeah. Men, it disqualify that list for sure. Yeah, man. Nah, that's that bullshit, man. That's that bullshit. And if I may, men, learn how to cook. Some of the fastest, sexiest vagina I ever got back in my single days was because I took a chick back to my place, cooked her up a steak and some mashed potatoes, and just learn how to cook, man. That could come in handy too. And delete that list from your vocab. That's some bullshit. Like take her ass on a movie date, take her to Olive Garden, and if she bulks, she ain't the right one.
She ain't the right one. That's all. If she tell you, but I don't do Olive Garden, well, you ain't for me then. Because Olive Garden, Cheesecake Factory, all those places, they regular people places, man. They regular people places, man. You go there, you see families at Olive Garden, Denny's. I mean, I ain't that fond of Denny's myself, but I don't mind Norm's though, because Norm's got some good ass steaks. They got some damn good pancakes. But again, it all depends on what kind of person what you're doing. If she's a team player, man, she's gonna go with you no matter where you take her, she's gonna be happy with. If she's a team player, no matter where you take her, she's gonna be happy with. Now I ain't saying she's settling. And if she really a team player, she want to up the ante, tell you what, I got this. We're going to so and so today. It's on me. Now you got to do something next time. Okay? Now you got to do something next time. But in the meantime, on the first date, get the fuck out of here. That's that bullshit. Go ahead, Doc.
Have you ever had any crazy first dates? Not necessarily dealing with that situation, but any dates you're like, oh, I cannot mess with this chick.
Man, I met this chick one time at the I never forget this. I met her at the in the store, in line at the store. We got the kick. Oh, gee, Steve, I see you, baby. You must got your income tax check. Good looking at you, boy. I ain't mad at you.
Damn, good looking out, player.
Income tax check today. Anyway, no, I'm just joking. But yeah, I met this chick one time, and we kicked it and took her out. We went out, hung out for a minute, and go back to her place. And things jump off, and I end up spending the night. I go in the bathroom, take a whiz. Next thing I know, I see all this dude shit. What the fuck? Why is this dude shit in the bathroom? Oh, he had a time. Oh, I'm gone. I don't know. I'm out of here. Bye. I don't know when that nigga coming home. I knew. And then, and she wanted me to hang out. I'm trying to figure out what's the best route. If I have to go out there, she lived upstairs too. If I got to go out this window, how am I gonna make it? And no. We're not gonna do this right here. Nah, that's okay. Bye. Never saw her again. Nope.
Damn. Yeah. OG Steve says, y'all see the video of a girl who a guy invited out for drinks? She ordered 48 oysters plus a steak and something else. She spent the whole time going live, paying the guy no attention. And when the guy left, she got mad.
Yeah. Bye. You and them 48 oysters, have a good time, and that steak, bye. No, man, see, that's that bullshit. And look, dude, women forget they got some bad representation out here right now. They got a lot of bad representation, a lot of bad influence. When you start seeing chicks like Sexy Red and other chicks out here telling you what to do, giving you your advice on how you're supposed to live your life, baby, you really, 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 really. And y'all make men super suspicious with people like that, representatives like that. Y'all would make us suspicious. I know I would be. That's for damn sure. I would be very suspicious of women of today. I'm sorry. I'm guilty.
Yeah, that's true. Morris Day said it best on chocolate. Mike Pate says, you know about chocolate from Morris Day?
What about her?
Mike Pate says Morris Day said it best on chocolate. Give us some more stuff to that. I don't know much about chocolate from Morris Day.
I just saw in the chat room that Richard Roundtree passed, man.
I was just about to say that, man. Richard Roundtree, Shaft, dude.
Man, that dude been the dude since the 70s, man.
You know, what do you remember about Richard Roundtree?
Had everybody buying leather jackets and leather pants. That's for damn sure. Shit. He had Negroes talking big shit to the police, and he had everybody thinking they was the shit. Shaft was a bad mother, man. Shut your mouth. That's real talk, Doc. In the 70s, the first Shaft, come on, man. When he was slim and trim, even the Shaft he played in the with Samuel Jackson, he was cool. Remember that gray beard? Chocolate brother with a gray beard? Come on, man. He's cool as a fan back then. Man, much love to him. Much love. Rest in peace, Shaft, man. I never met the brother myself, but he came from an era when black folks were trying to stand up for themselves. It was doing the black he was black. He was the first black superhero that I can recall. He was the first black superhero from the hood, kicking ass, taking it to the man, getting all the girls, a detective, putting it down, man. He was that dude. He kind of lost me when he went to Africa, but other than that, when he was in the hood, I was handling. He was working things.
What happened when he went to Africa?
He had a movie called Shaft in Africa. I didn't do that great. Yeah, Shaft. No, as long as Shaft was in the hood kicking ass, I think he was from New York kicking ass. It was all good. When he started fucking with tigers and lions and bears, it kind of lost everybody. Yep.
Damn, man, that's Hollywood for you. They'll milk something until they can get every last penny out of you, huh?
Sir. Yes, sir. They're gonna do their best to take it to the next level until they ruin it. Till they ruin it. I was talking to Play last week in Sacramento. We talked about the rebooting of House Party. Y'all should left that alone, man. Y'all should left that alone. If y'all wasn't gonna bring back Kid and Play in some role for that, and that's one thing about with Shaft. They brought back Richard Roundtree, introduced his son, which was Samuel L. Jackson, but also brought in a grandson. So that legacy can continue because people are going to recognize, because at some point in time, Shaft is going to be gone from the legacy. Samuel L. Jackson will still be there. And the new kid that was doing the drunken monkey whooping ass, the FBI agent, he can take their ball and run with it. But you just can't throw a bunch of new players in the thing and expect for it to have the same impact. They're going to work. There's no bridging. There's nobody to bring you to keep you those references to bring you over to the next level. You just did House Party. Didn't want to pay Kid and Play.
Yep, that's it. Something that was real big with Richard Roundtree, and I knew the music before I even knew who Richard Roundtree was, before I even saw a minute of Shaft. I remember the Shut Your Mouth, but tell us about Isaac Hayes and his importance of creating this musical sound.
Isaac Hayes, Black Moses. Come on, man. Isaac Hayes was the king of the 70s, dude. He gave Baldhead Brothers something to look forward to. He was on Rockford with Rockford Files, kicking ass on the Rockford Files. He was that dude, man. And in the studio, he was awesome, man. He had the it was his orchestra wasn't as big, to my knowledge, it wasn't as big as Barry White's, but he had an orchestra sound. That shit was huge, man. He had a lot of live instrumentation, a lot of strings, a lot of horns, and him and Barry White would battle for the deep voices. They had the production and the deep voices. So that was a whole other thing, man. That was a hell of an era, dude. You could tell the music was different, but you can tell it was from the same era, and that's what people appreciated. Even then, there was competition, but they would not bite. They would do some similar shit, but they would be on another level. And Isaac Hayes, he was more of a street dude. Barry White was like from the symphony, the symphony of the streets, put it that way. Isaac Hayes was more of the street cat, the street producer, big production, but his subject matter was a lot different than Barry White's to a certain degree. And Barry, it just was man, dude, the 70s, come on, man. In the 70s and the 80s, everybody was a big band, even Cameo. Cameo, Confunction, Sky, Cameo, Confunction, Sky, Brass Construction, And damn, it was one more group I thought of the other day. I can't think of it now. It was something blue, I think it was. Anyway, everybody was self-contained. Every band brought the horn section along. Most of them didn't bring strings, but you can't.
Blue
No,
Oyster
it was
Cult.
another group. It was I want to say Sky, but I heard the song after we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I heard the song on my Sirius radio shortly after that. It made me think about that. Like, damn, they was funky too. But yeah, there was a lot of different groups back then that had a BT Express. BT Express, that's what it was. BT Express. It was BT Express, Confunction, BT Express, Sky, Confunction, Cameo. All these guys were they were huge bands from the 70s that were all self-contained, and they had their own, everybody rolled with them. It was a different era, dude. It was Cameo broke down later on to just the 4 or 5 guys and just started hiring the horn section. But the horn section of Confunction was a major part of their sound. Same thing with Tower of Power. The horn section, same thing with Average White Band and Average White Band, Tower of Power, and Confunction. They had some of the baddest horn section, and that was the sound of the 70s and 80s. The Memphis horns, oh my God. And George Clinton's horny horns, come on, man. Shit. All that shit was all in that era, and you had to have arrangers to make the music, and they did a great job. And they would always try to outcomplicate each other, man. That shit was so damn complicated. The average cat probably can't play it right now unless you got some real serious chops.
Damn. I want to rewind a little bit because you mentioned something in the past. You mentioned you listened to certain music back in the day before, like the 70s, maybe late 60s, but you mentioned that you wanted to be a hippie.
Hell yeah.
For a quick second. I'm trying to picture. So when I picture a hippie, I picture the stereotypical peace man, the long hair, the dirty, what a typical hippie would be. Is that what Lonzo wanted to be at one point?
Lonzo ain't never wanted to be dirty. Dirty never one of my things, okay? Being dusty and dirty ain't never been one of my things. But in that era, man, the peace movement was so mellow. It was anti-establishment. And what I mean by that is folks wore sandals every day in the rain. And it's almost the same way now to a certain degree. Everybody wears slides everywhere. And it called it free love. It was free love back in the 70s, Doc. When you saw somebody wearing an army jacket, it was for warmth. It didn't mean anything far as they was supporting the military. I remember it's a scene in Forrest Gump when Jenny comes and hangs out with her Black Panther friends. A lot of them are wearing leather jackets and army jackets. Okay, and that was just kind of the anti-army movement. Cause it was like a fuck Vietnam type situation because folks were getting drafted to go to Vietnam. Nobody wanted to go. It was illegal. It was one of the wars we couldn't win. A lot of controversy. People had their own beliefs. You wasn't canceling nothing. If you didn't want to go to the service, you went to Canada. The whole vibe, the long hair vibe, it was just fresh off the hippie vibe. I mean, off the Beatles vibe with the long hair. Beatles had everybody wearing long hair in the 60s when they came out in the 60s. But before then, everybody was Richie Cunningham, short haircuts, Pat Boone type shit. Beatles come out with the long hair, and then like everything else, folks took it to another level. Brothers started going out to naturals. Everybody wearing love beads and the peace medallions, and even I remember even my mom bought me a pair of pants. They was white, but they came with some permanent markers. You could draw on these pants. This is no shit. You could draw on the pants and peace signs and love, peace, all that bullshit. And it went right into the Soul Train era. So Don Cornelius was a product of that particular era because he always said love, peace, and soul, and all that. You saw all that in Soul Train. Don Cornelius was a huge natural wearing brother for a long time. And eventually he cut it down. But in the beginning, that shit was big. The tie was big. The collar was big. The everything was big. The platform shoes, all that coincided with the hippie era, because the hippie era became the disco era. Okay, because the disco era was about love and having a good time and partying. And at one point in time, somebody said, "Fuck disco," or "Disco sucks," and that was the end of disco. And that's going to show you how a marketing campaign can change the direction if they wanted to. But if you what he wants to, but again, they destroyed disco. Meanwhile, here we are in the new millennium, and you can say whatever you want to, and nobody thinks about canceling you because they make money off of the folks that promote the cancellation. I mean the derogatory shit.
Crazy, man. I want to kind of stick around that era, Lonzo, around the Vietnam era. Vietnam ended in 1975. And did you ever have a fear of getting drafted? Yeah. What did you ever get close to?
Hell yeah, I thought.
Okay, talk to us and tell everybody about the draft thing. Like, nope, we don't. Yeah, talk to us about drafting back then.
Nigga, if you was 18, you got out of high school, your ass get drafted. You got to go give them two, maybe 4. You got to give them at least 2 years, I believe it was. During the wartime, when you turned 18, they gave you your voter card, and you had to do a selective service card. And if they called your ass up, your ass got to go. Now, a lot of brothers got smart, and they started enlisting in like the Navy or the Air Force. But the Navy, the Air Force, you got to be pretty smart to be in the Air Force. You got to have decent grades to be in the Air Force. The Navy was the next best thing. If you was a Army, would draft your ass. Marines, you would enlist for the Marines, but the Marines had a whole different super macho appeal, and it was selective as well. But yeah, I thought I was going to get drafted. In fact, that's why I went to ROTC. That's why I got involved in ROTC at Centennial High School. When ROTC first came to Centennial in 1973, I was in fear of getting drafted. I was in high school, and I figured if I got to go to the service, I'm going to go in as an officer. So I started the ROTC, and then the next year, they dropped that shit. Oh, I was happy to mother. They dropped the draft, and I still was an ROTC up until the time I left Centennial. But it was one of the best things I ever did in my life, because they taught me leadership skills, and it taught me not to be afraid.
Damn, dude, different time, man. But do you think they'll ever bring it back?
They could. Ain't nothing to stop it. Ain't nothing to stop it. Only thing stop you from getting drafted back in the day was a felony, flat feet, asthma, or something like that. If you had good feet and could breathe and had all your fingers, your ass gonna get this M16. They're gonna go overpower your ass, okay? Yeah. They're gonna go overpower your ass.
Different time.
Yeah, Centennial was Navy. It was ROTC. Yes, sir. It was the Navy. I started off as an ensign. When I got through, I was a battalion commander. When I hit the fence, when I left Centennial in 1974, I left all my shit, all 4 of my gold bars. I left there as a battalion commander. Sure did. For whatever reason, I've always been in leadership positions. Why? I have no idea. Since I was just, no matter what I've done, and I never thought I was a leader per se, but because I speak up, I find myself in leadership positions quite a bit. I've been the presidents and co-presidents and of all type of shit. So, and in high school wasn't no different. I ran for president, didn't make it, got into that fight. That's what made me leave Centennial. But yeah, I found myself at the head of ROTC. OG Steve, I see you again.
Shout out OG Steve again, man.
Shit.
He says, my grandfather and 2 of my grandmother's brothers got drafted in World War II. My great uncle got drafted into the Korean War. My dad got drafted into Vietnam. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Bad luck there. I mean, I don't know. Good luck, bad
luck. All of them was rough, man. I talk to people now. A lot of my buddies, a little older than me, ended up in Vietnam, man, and it shit had a negative effect on a lot of them, dude, because they had that Agent Orange shit, and they were spraying everybody with that shit, and a lot of people got messed up. A lot of people got messed up physically and emotionally, and yeah, we leave that alone for we get canceled. Shit.
Yeah. Let's move on. Now, before we do, I'm going to remind everybody to hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear. You are tuned in to Not Without Alonzo. That is Alonzo Williams, the godfather of West Coast hip hop. I am Dusty Vision. I'm copying and pasting all of your questions, so keep them coming in the chat. Shout out to the chat. We got the best chat. And once again, thank you, OG Steve, for the contributions. Really appreciate you. I was listening to an interview earlier, Lonzo, and Lear Cohen was the one who's being interviewed. Lear Cohen, a musical pioneer, genius. Everybody probably knows the name. He was discussing 360 deals because he is kind of the innovator or pioneer of the 360 deal. Vlad asked him a question about the 360 deal, and Lear Cohen gave a response, and I would love to talk about this for a bit. Let me go ahead and hit play.
And what I want it to be is the largest indie or the scrappiest major, and the one that was committed most to artist development. And the only way that you could commit to artist development is you have to shrink your roster. You have to shrink the number of releases. Instead of throwing releases against the wall and see what sticks, you actually have to believe in what you're signing, spend money to develop and promote and market those artists and stay with them. And so what I needed to do was, because I was shrinking the roster and not having as many releases, I needed to make more from each release. To roll with me, I needed to have more skin in the game. The point is that you and I are going to be partners. The point is that you and I are going to go through this whole journey together. By the way, a manager is a 360, right?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
What do you think, Lonzo, when you hear Lear Cohen explain it that way? From what I understand, and forgive me if I'm wrong, is he's saying that he has to shrink his roster significantly so he can focus more on building the artist. But in doing so, since he isn't making money from a lot of other artists, he needs to make more money off the few that his label is focusing on. Is that how he's selling it?
That's the attempt. Sounds like to me that because there's more revenue streams that artists have these days, you want to be invested in that as well. Because see, when you sign somebody as a musician, as a musical artist, you don't know if they can sing or rap. You know what I mean? You don't know if they can sing or they can act. I'm sorry, you don't know if they can act. You don't know if they're gonna have to have an audience appeal like a Snoop Dogg or somebody else. And that was a big problem they had back in the 60s and 70s. In the early days, artists would record companies kept all the money, kept most of the money from the artists, but an artist can go out and get them a movie deal. Elvis was doing movies big time back in the day. Okay, they was low budget and he was getting paid, but the Colonel was getting a chunk of that money. Later on, you got folks start doing getting soda pop deals, beer deals, and most of those deals back in the beginning, the artists didn't get. They were always just spokespersons. They weren't invested. They weren't getting a chunk of the money. They were, hired to be a spokesperson for a particular brand. But as artists got more and more savvy when it came to the business part of it, they wanted to be in, I got this name, I got this platform. Let me go out and do some self-pimping. And wait, you need my shoes, you need my hat to be on you for you to do some self-pimping. Not really, but because you gave me so much money, and that's where the 360 deal comes in at. Somebody give you a $10 million advance, he just bought your life. A $50 million advance, they bought your life. You talking about you sold your soul? You sold your soul and your ass. Because everything you do, from commercials, music, concerts, if you get an endorsement of any type, a TV role, they just got they get a chunk of your money. And again, in some cases, you might not get no money for a while because you've already been paid. You have to recoup that money. You got to recoup that money. And it depends on how that money is recouped if somebody, they may say I get half of this or all of this till this money is paid back. I remember Ludacris had a big problem with with his situation because he was mad because they wouldn't pay. They was taking his money from Fast and Furious. I remember that conversation. They had it was a big issue because Ludacris, hey man, wait a minute. I'm getting paid all this money, but I ain't getting no money because he had a 360 deal. And the 360 deal can be cold-blooded because 20% goes to your manager, another chunk goes to taxes. So if you get 10 million, if you get 5, you lucky. You lucky. Not to mention what other expenses you may have. And I don't know if they pay it all in one lump sum. It may be over a period of time. So that, because you got people who have had success long after their record deals were over with. They still have a success. Artists like EAZY brothers, they ain't had a record. EAZY ain't had a record deal in years. They don't need one because they got a following. They got an eternal following. Long as Ron Isley can sing, he gonna be all right. A lot of your artists, transformed into actors. Record companies didn't get none of that. They only got a piece of that. Now the manager may got a piece of that, but again, he was the one that was directing that career in the first place. So now you got a manager and you got a record company with their hands in your pockets. It's hard. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna be happy for a minute till you start seeing the numbers and realizing that shit, this 5 million or 10 million didn't do me no good. Especially if you're a youngster with a new career. They just bought your ass. Talking about, no more selling your soul. Yep, they double just got a receipt for your ass. And again, when you dealing with a young artist who never had no money before.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, this delay. Sorry, man. Rappers and artists are always battling their labels. It's been going on since day one in the music industry, and history shows that the label owner, the promoter, the man on top always gets the bad rap. For the most part, the Jerry Hellers of the world, the babies from Cash Money. Talk to us because you've done it all. You were a label owner, promoter. Talk to us from a label owner, promoter point of view. Why do you guys get such a bad rap? And what are some of the behind the scenes things that a label owner, promoter has to go through that the artist and the public don't see?
Well,
I'll be right back. Keep going.
As a promoter, record label, you bear all the responsibility. Martin, I see you, baby. Much love to you, Doc. As a promoter, record company, you bear all the responsibility. You bear all the expense, which means everything comes out your pocket first. The artist has to be good enough to create the music or the art form, whatever it is, that's going to get you money back and get him paid as well. The problem is that at some point in time, record companies may want you to go a direction that you don't really feel that's not really your forte. And now you're fighting with yourself to make them happy because they pretty much control you. And this is where the battle starts. Or like Prince said, I want a better deal. I'm going to invest my own money, make my own album. I don't want the royalty deal that you guys are giving me right now. And they said, nope, too bad you signed the contract. And that's the part that makes you want to hurt somebody because, you realize that I didn't take $1 million from you. This is my project. And you have to understand, the record business is the only business that gives you an advance for a project that they own, and they make you pay for it with your royalties while they're making the lion's share of the money. Understand what I'm saying? The record business is the only business that will give you an advance, then tell me for a product that they're going to own. And for you to get any money out of this project, you have to recoup all the money I gave you at the royalty rate that we assigned to you, which means for lack of for math purposes, let's say you get $1 an album. If you're getting $1 an album and I give you $100,000 to record the album, you got to pay all the expenses out of it, producers, taxes, lawyers, tape, studio, everything comes out to the $100,000 that I gave you to make this album that's going to be on my label that I'm going to own the copyrights to. I give you $100,000 to do this. You pay all the expenses. Now you have to promote it for free. No more money. There's no more money for promotion because that's part of the contract. And you got to do whatever it takes to make this album happen. Now the album starts taking off and it starts to sell. You have to sell 100,000 albums at your rate for every dollar, for every to recoup. You have to sell 100,000 albums just to get even, and you don't get no money in the meantime. So 100,000 albums at $10 a piece, the record company is going to make $1 million, and you're just getting even. You just go to zero. They're going to make $1 million before you get to, and you'll just be getting to zero. And from everything after that, you still get paid. Now, if there's any tour support, video, anything else, that may come after the fact and set your dial back at back in the negative again, because all that comes out your royalties at your assigned royalty rate. Meanwhile, they own it in perpetuity. It's their product. So if you, that's like somebody saying, I'm gonna come to your house, you're gonna pay me to paint your house, but I get to keep it. But you still got it. It's your house, but I still own it. It never really made sense. But that was the deal they had, and that's the deal they keep. So for every record, for every dollar you make, the record company makes 9 on the CD. For every record you make, for every record that's sold, I make $9, and one of those dollars go towards them getting paid back. And it's still their product. Why would I pay you to buy something, to make something that you own? It's your product. You should be hiring me to do the motherfucker and pay me from day one. But that's not how it goes. But the money that's being marketed, money used to market the product, makes me a celebrity. So now, even if I don't sign with you again, I could go get sign with somebody else, or I may take my talents to the silver screen. You're gonna get no money off of that, but now you do. I may, because women like me, I may get a cologne. I may get a champagne or energy drink because people like me. But up until now, they didn't get no parts of that. Now they do.
Did you appreciate the entertainment aspect more because you were an entertainer, you made songs, you are a creative person, or did you enjoy the behind the scenes more, or did you like them equally?
I like them equally, Doc. I mean, being behind the scenes and understanding what you're getting yourself into, it's nothing worse than getting screwed. It's nothing worse. It's the worst feeling in the world. And once you understand where the screwing comes from, you can protect yourself. You can put a condom on your ass at least or something. At least it won't be all that terrible. But you can't do that unless you understand the game. And that's the part most people don't understand. You're so happy to get the deal, you don't read the contract. You're so happy you get the check coming, you ain't reading that damn contract. Nope, you're not reading it. It has nothing to do. You're not paying any attention to it. So it's just I enjoy the creative part, but the promotion part. This is where Monique fell off at with her deal. They gave her, she got the money for the movie. Now they want you to travel the world on their dime for their product, and not pay you any money. They take you away from your family, put you on airplanes. You got to do these what they call junkets, promotional junkets, which means you may talk to 30, 40 people. Press junkets. You may talk to 30, 40 people on behalf of the record company that ain't paying you no money. That's already, your money, you already got your money. There's no budget for you to promote this. And some people are like, I'm not doing that. Because it's very tedious, and you got to tell the same story to everybody. They won't just do one big old junket and be done with it. Every channel got to have every station got to have their own individual interview, and you may interview with 30, 40 people in a day. Then you got to go overseas and do the same shit all over again. No, it can be very redundant.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Thank you, Marlon Cozy. Good looking out for that 10. Appreciate it. He says, yo, Unc, when are you going to do more club stories? And Dust, do you listen to the new hip-hop lens, R&B vocals over hip-hop beats and vice versa? I always have my ear to the street. I love music. I listen to music every single day, every moment of the day almost. You know, so yeah, I have heard some of it. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. You just got to dig for it, unfortunately. But Lonzo, you have any good club stories that we haven't told in a long time? Because I think we might have covered almost all of them. But anything that you could, let's see. Yeah. Oh, no, there's too many.
I got more club stories than I do anything else. I mean, I've been doing club for 40 years, dude. And it's, I got my favorites. I got one club story that I tell sometimes, man. It was at my club, the Current Affair in Inglewood. Current Affair was on Manchester, 234 West Manchester. I got it on a humbug. I actually owned this club. I owned the liquor license. I leased the building. Everything was on me. And I also was the DJ. And that's always been my claim to fame as the club owner. I had a residency in my own club. I would hire the DJ from time to time, but most of the time, I did it myself, and that way I could control the crowd to keep the people coming back. Well, this particular night, I think I might have told you the story before, but I'm gonna tell it to you again because I'm not sure. This particular night, I was DJing, and I go take a leak in the restroom, and this lady was in the hallway crying. I said, "Babe, you all right?" No, I'm the club owner still, so I'm concerned. She's crying. She says, "I think I saw the guy that killed my son." Oh shit! So I'm like, "Can I get you a drink or something?" Can I, I told my waitress, talk to her, console her if you can. And while I'm talking to her, her nephew walk up, "Nigga, what you do? Why you got my auntie crying?" "Man, I ain't do nothing to your auntie, man. She thinks she saw, oh, fuck you, whoa. So he wants, this dude he's on one for real. So I'm like, let's go outside. So I have my other DJ fill in for me. I go outside. So homeboy, he's determined he is going to whoop my ass because his auntie is crying, and I let the guy in the club that they think killed his cousin. Well, how in the fuck I'm supposed to know that? How do I supposed to know that? Okay, you let him in the club, whoop, whoop, whoop. Nigga, I don't know none of y'all. So we get into it. All of a sudden, I just got tired of this dude, man, and we got to squat. We fighting like I'm about 41 years old, man. I'm fighting in the parking lot. Okay. I'm whooping this cat's ass. But my parking lot had some gravel and had some loose dirt in it. And I slipped. And my cousin thought I got knocked down, but I slipped. My cousin, he trigger happy. He gonna get the house piece. And before I can get up good, I ain't even down that hard. He pow, shoot up in the air 2 times. Everybody scattered. So now, dude scattered, lady still crying. The fight over with. But we in Inglewood, and somebody called the police. Somebody called the police in Inglewood. So I'm back DJing. Inglewood PD show up. Homeboy still woofing outside. He got all his cousins outside. Everybody, his whole family outside trying to. I still don't know who the dude they was talking about yet. Inglewood PD. We heard gunshots, and we're over here now. We understood there was a shooting, and we're coming to see what's going on. Like, man, anybody got shot? I know what happened, right? So the cop comes in the club. I told my cousin, I said, Joe, put the gun in the safe. And we had a drop safe. You put the gun in there, turn the handle, money go down, gun go down. No gun, we don't know what you're talking about. Joe, put the gun in the safe. Joe don't put the gun in the safe. Joe goes takes the gun and puts the gun in a phone book behind the damn bar, and there the gun is sitting in the phone book. Big, just like, see how I got this right here? Big ass gun sitting in a fucking phone book, and the cop walks over to the phone book and grabs the damn phone book. There the gun is 357 Magnum, smoking, smelling like goddamn guns, like a freshly shot gun. And I'm like, cop, you know anything about this? I said, no, not at all, officer. I sure don't. I have no idea what that is. And the cop said, have you been fighting? I said, no, not at all. The cop take his flashlight, run down my leg. What I did not know is when I fell, I ripped my pants from my knees to my ankles. Cop, can you step outside, please? Next thing I know, I'm handcuffed at my own goddamn club. I'm handcuffed at my own club. Me, my doorman, and the Negro that was talking shit about his auntie crying, we all handcuffed together up against the fence. It's my club. I ain't got my wallet on me. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm the owner. All they know is I got my pants tore. My pants is tore, and this guy is still talking shit. Now I'm sitting there trying to figure out my cousin who pulled the trigger. I don't know where his ass went. He gone. Okay, he disappeared on me. He got me handcuffed and gone. And next thing I know, after about 45 minutes to an hour, the cops, they try to pull you to the side. Well, if someone got shot, if you tell us right now who got shot, who did the shooting, we'll work with you. We'll get you a good deal. Man, hey, get the fuck out of here with that shit. And my cousin, he popped back up. He in the club peeking around the door. I want to kick his ass. The dude next to me, he's still talking shit. And now he stopped talking shit to me and started talking shit to the police. Okay? I forgot one small factor. That's right. I forgot just one small factor. Before me and this nigga got to fighting, the first thing he said was, hold my teeth. The nigga took his teeth out and gave them to his partner. Hold my teeth. Hold my teeth. I'm not bullshitting. Nigga took his teeth out and we got to squabbing. I ain't bullshitting. After we got to fighting, after we stopped fighting, the nigga took his teeth, put it back in his mouth, kept talking shit. Meanwhile, after that, the cops held us for about an hour or so. He started mouthing off the police, and he was not happy until he ended up in the back of the police car going to jail that night. That's no bullshit. And everything went away, but it was just one of them crazy ass nights at the current affair. Nigga talked himself.
Damn, dude. There you go, Marlon. All right, let's drop some game then, Lonzo. Let's drop some game. In hindsight, you're 65 years old now, 25 years later. What would you have done differently in that situation? Or was there anything that you could have done differently? I mean, sometimes, unfortunately, our only option as men is to fight. What would you have done differently if you could?
In that situation right there, in that same situation, you gotta understand Lonzo. Lonzo ain't never been a gangster. Lonzo ain't never been taking no shit. Okay? I never claimed to be a gangster, but after a certain point in time, fuck it, let's do this. That's been my since I was a fucking youngster at Eve After Dark. I didn't have no problem. I had no problem putting hands on the sumbitch. Okay? I had no problem with that. I learned later on it was not the best thing to do. My record, I got a good record, but I am not undefeated by no means. Okay, I'm not undefeated by no means. But the reputation at that time, it was safe to fight. It was at that time, it was safe to fight a motherfucker because you took his ass up and he gave you that. All right, nigga, fuck it, let's go. And it was over with. You see him at the gas station. What up, man? What up? Okay, he wasn't looking to shoot your ass. Different time. The only thing I would have did different is probably change my pants and make sure my gun was in the safe because it didn't make no sense. But the whole scenario was so stupid, and this is something you have to realize when you're dealing with people. Some people only know certain things, and homeboy only knew jail, and he talked to the police real bad the whole time. And the police they stopped focusing on me and my partner, my doorman. They just focused on him until he talked his way into going to fucking jail that night. And it's just one of them situations you can't avoid. But I learned as a grown ass man, what I don't do, I don't break up fights no more. I don't get involved. Because I notice usually the person that's trying to break the fight up end up shot or dead. And I don't do that no more. I got people that do that. Hey man, handle that shit. Or call the police.
Yep. Hey, the STEM Radio wants to know, says, why would anyone want a record deal nowadays when you've got platforms like YouTube and SoundCloud? Record
deals have always been a sign of a status sign, man. I'm signed to so-and-so. I got this. Everybody want to be signed to somebody. Record deals and management. Management is a status symbol, dude. Record deals are a status symbol. People think that shit is, it's my manager. I'm signed to so-and-so, and I just got signed to so-and-so. And all this basically is just It's just signing yourself up for a form of slavery. If the manager don't know shit, you ain't got shit. You got so many cats. Man, you'd be surprised how many guys have come to me. Man, I got this manager. He ain't doing shit. I got somebody want to give me a deal, but he won't let me go. I done heard that story so many fucking times. I told you, homeboy, is ex-crackhead. Why you fucking with him in the first place? Could he put the suit on? And a lot of times that would be what it is. He'll be the only one in the group that know how to put on a pair of slacks. And he the manager. He the manager. He don't know shit. I could ask a guy a couple of questions and qualify or disqualify him as a potential manager. Don't take but a minute. And that's one thing I learned. I love about having this experience. It don't take but a few minutes to ask a couple of key questions. If you give me the wrong answer, next, we ain't got no conversation. And no more conversation, dude. You don't know shit.
Yeah, man. And
or they'll try to juice me. Well, man, you know,
is being a manager.
They'll try to juice me some. Man, you know what? What about so and so and so and so? I thought you supposed to know that already. I thought you was the manager. You're not a manager. You just somebody with a suit on that want the title.
That's hilarious, dude. Hey, someone's asking about. A couple people have been asking about EAZY Street. Before we continue, I know we got to wrap it up here soon, but I've had a couple people hit me up in the DMs asking, "Are you going to be having any live performances?" And yeah, other people want to know what's going to be going on that day. You know, break it down a little bit more, specifically the performance. What performance things are you going to be having that day?
I'm probably going to keep the performances down to a minimum. I got to call out to Yella and little E to do a little something, and I got a couple of key people may do something. I got to. I'm at a weird position with this right here. If I bring out too many heavyweights, it's going to be too big, but I don't want it to be a flop either. So I have to kind of balance that out a little bit, you know, because I don't want it to be it's the day before Thanksgiving. I want everybody to come out, have a good time, and go home safe. But you know, we are where we are. We represent certain things, so I have to be careful about who I put on that stage. And like I said, Yella and Lil E would be great. I'm gonna see Warren G on Friday. Maybe I get Warren G to come by for a minute. And I don't want it to be too massive. That's why I'm putting it on television as well. So if you can't come out, you can watch it on your phone. You can watch it at the pad. It's going to be recorded so you can watch it later on. There's going to be a lot of dignitaries there, folks, like folks that made this happen. I got some sponsors I'm working on. So I don't want to give up too much right now, but it'll be worth it. It's only going to be 3 hours long. But I just saw E40 had a street named after him over the weekend, I think it was, and it was massive. It was fucking massive, dude. So, we're behind the hotel in the city property, blocking off streets behind the shopping center. So we got room. We just want to make sure that whatever we do is going to be fitting for the event.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it, man. Definitely looking forward to it. What else is coming up with you?
Oh man, Eve After Dark is getting ready, man. We on it every day. I was up there today twice, working with the contractors, put my 2 cents on some things we want done at the club. That right there kind of changed my whole focus for a minute, man. I had a couple of DJ gigs I had to cancel because it's gonna be right around the time we open up Eve After Dark, and I just want to make sure we're ready for this because it should be interesting, Doc. It should be fun. We're gonna record we're gonna definitely do a documentary on the EAZY Street project. And so, yeah, it's just a matter of doing what we got to do, man. It should be fun.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. And everybody, if you're not aware, Lonzo does a show every Friday, usually 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, with Dr. Dre from YoMTV Raps, Legendary Connects. It's a great show. They have great conversations, and I think you guys will really like it. So if you guys haven't checked that out, every single Friday for the most part, 4 p.m. Pacific with Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps. No, not the Dr. Dre that he used to work with, Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps. How did you guys meet, man? I don't know if I ever asked you
And that was
Lonzo.
a straight humbug, dude. That was a straight humbug. My partner, Brian Franklin, Bam, they called him, hooked us together on a couple of calls, a couple of Clubhouse calls. And me and Dre got to vibing, you know. And I knew Dre from back in the day, but I hadn't talked to him in God knows how long, man. He told me about my house. He used to manage Body and Soul. And that was D Barnes and Rose. Rose used to rent a room from me, and D was always here. And he said, "I've been to your house several times, man. Woo, woo, woo." Dude, that was 47 years ago. Cool. If you say so, I'm gonna roll with it. And we got to vibing, man. And one day I was driving to Vegas. And I said, we ought to do a podcast from the East Coast, old school East Coast, old school West Coast, something that people can relate to. And we came up with the Legendary Connects, man. And we've been rolling with it now over a year now. It's been over a year. Yep.
Love it, man. Love it. Well, it's always a pleasure, Lonzo. I think it's about time to wrap it up, my man. Any last words?
All right, y'all. For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery. Put Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold. On the eve after dark center stage Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that bullshit because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than most of y'all will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Lonzo. Peace, y'all.